Hey guys, it's your boy Wookakakor, and I just read Wonderland Never Forgotten. It's The Promise to Neverland, of course. So this is the show that they're removing Bleach for. Basically, that's at least what I think. Cause Bleach goes out this week, and this comes in this week. So should I hate it from the start? Because like they're getting rid of Bleach for this. Well, I read it, and actually I kind of liked it. It's about Emma and her two friends, and I guess the rest of her friends. They're living in an orphanage on a farm, and they are. It seems pretty normal. She's really cheerful. Actually, I really liked Emma's character. I like to see female characters. I like girls. I like to. I want to see. I like to see female leads. And I think Emma is actually kind of an interesting character. I didn't feel like her character was very forced at all. And I think her two friends, Norman and Ray, will do a really good job supporting her character. Now, like 12 or 15 pages through this, there's a really interesting panel, and if you guys read it, you know what I'm talking about. It's an eerie panel. It's a really eerie panel, but nothing else suggests that it's eerie. It's just got this like weird air going on. And I don't want to show you guys this panel because if you haven't read it, I don't want to spoil anything. But look in the background in this panel, and it looks like there's eyes back there, and I'm wondering like, are those really eyes? Is that just posturing? I thought that was really interesting though, and of course, I mean, why is this gonna happen? They're gonna do something weird, right? And I was waiting for them to do something weird. So we learn about Emma, and we learn about her friends. Apparently, they're all geniuses. They're 11 years old. They're all like very physically athletic too, which honestly, whatever. I'm actually okay with that because if the main characters aren't interesting or like highly capable, it nerfs them a little bit unless the show is like, made around their disabilities. Now around the third half, we get a pretty big twist and some really creepy stuff going on and a lot of questions. So and actually, I liked it. I liked that twist a lot. I thought it was really interesting. It definitely grabbed your attention. I mean, that's definitely something you won't forget. It was a little cliche, but I don't think it took away from the story at all. Now, another thing, it felt like in this when I was reading this chapter, they were doing a lot of like potentially like PC stuff. They're trying to appeal, trying not to offend anyone, trying to integrate everybody, and plus they were doing this. One of the themes, if you haven't read this, this is a spoiler, so I'm warning you now. But if you have read it, they're doing something about comparing the students to a farm. Are humans? Are we the animals in the larger picture? Or is what we're doing to animals right? I don't know if they were asking that question, but it seemed like they were. And honestly, I'm not really into that kind of vegan. Is what we're doing okay to animals? Is it right? Yeah, I guess some people do voice that concern, and it is really popular nowadays, but I'm not really into it. And I felt like I'm not sure if the writers are trying to be like super PC because honestly, I really hope they're not. I think when people introduce those elements without like an actual reason, it just makes it look terrible. Now, I mean, that goes back to Emma's character because she's a girl, right? And she has orange spiky hair or whatever, right? And it's always the main lead shonen is always a guy who's like 10, 13, 15, or whatever, and he always has spiky orange hair, right? And so it was a girl, and so it's like they feel, again, you could make that PC argument, but I really liked Emma's character. I did not feel like it was forced at all, and I actually think this dynamic it works a lot better because a lot of this manga seems to be more based on the thriller, the suspense, solving through your problems with critical thinking. That was definitely emphasized in this chapter. So with that being said, I'm not going to judge it too much based on that. Now, I will say that this is a chapter one, so it's really hard to say if this what the rest of the manga is going to be, especially if this is trying to be a weekly shonen. If it's trying to be a monthly shonen, that would make more sense to me. I was getting Attack on Titan feels. I was getting kind of like Death Note feels. I wasn't really getting Naruto Bleach feels. Now, if you guys have seen Perfect Blue or Paprika, if you guys have seen those movies, I thought this was very similar to that. The art was very similar. The themes, the premise, the emphasis on the female characters as the lead, very similar style. Now, another thing that I had to bring up was the art. It seemed like the art was a little weird. If you look at the cover on the right, Norman looks a little weird, and even Emma and Ray. They look kind of weird. I don't think you can say too much about the art because I actually liked a lot of the art of the other characters. And going through this chapter, I actually did like Emma's art and a lot. And I don't think Norman and Ray's character, I don't think their art took away from the characters at all. Plus, this artist did seem to display ability to do a wide variety of panels based on this chapter. So I think the art. I don't think it wasn't outstanding. I think the art. I don't think it's worth criticizing at this point. Honestly, guys, if you haven't read this, it's kind of sad. Like I was having a hard time reading it around page 30, 40. But I hope it works out well. I know lately there's been a lot of like really sad anime going on. At least I know Attack on Titan a few years ago that was like the big thing where everybody dies. So again, I mean this is only chapter one. It's really hard to say what is going to come out of this. I remember reading Hunter x Hunter chapter one, and I didn't like it very much. So and I like this a lot. You really can't tell. I mean it's just chapter one. Anyways, it's your boy Wooka Court coming at you with a Wooka review of the Promised Neverland, Chapter 1. I'm gonna say what I said before. I liked Emma's character a lot. I think this show has a lot of potential, and it didn't quite feel like a mainstream shonen like Naruto or Bleach or One Piece. Anyway, it's been real. I hope you guys liked my chapter review.